There are many secret programs going on, and some of them are scary. It was the most exciting, fascinating part of the military I have ever seen in my life.
Are you looking at things in real time when
Yes.
you remote view?
Yeah. They had me describe the craft, and then they had me go inside the craft.
Wow. Have you ever been tasked with looking at the so-called secret space program?
Oh yeah, many times.
And what have we seen there? Well, welcome to Beyond Belief. I'm George Noory, and you know we have given you some incredible programs over the years, but what you're about to see in this program will stun you because of what it is and how it works. Our special guest is Len Buchanan. He was with the military. He was a remote viewer. Years later, he decided to continue his remote viewing practice into what is now called controlled remote viewing. Len, welcome to Beyond Belief.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
What an exciting endeavor you have had over the years.
Oh, listen, when I went into the military unit and they read me on as to what they really do, I thought I was on candid camera, you know. I thought this was a joke. It was the most exciting, fascinating part of the military I have ever seen in my life.
You have
It's
got to
fantastic.
tell us, first of all, what remote viewing is. Now, you and I have talked over the years, not
Yeah,
only on Coast to Coast,
Yeah.
but we've done a Beyond Belief program before.
Yeah.
But a lot of people want to know exactly what is remote viewing.
Okay, basically the military took on the project of getting psychic spies, but they didn't want psychics. And so they went out to Stanford Research Institute. They did a study, and they found out that a part of your subconscious mind connects with whatever is psychic, whatever psychic is.
Yeah.
But your subconscious doesn't talk to your conscious mind. So they developed a methodology of interview and report so that your conscious mind can interview your subconscious and report what it says. They taught it for basically psychic spying. The fact is your subconscious knows why you do those things you don't want to do and why you don't do the thing, you know, and it knows everything about you. And so the tools and the methodology works for everything that's in your it knows where your car keys are and so on, you know.
Did we follow up on what the Soviets were doing first? Is that how this
Yes,
all really started?
we did it as a reaction to what the Soviets were doing. When Hitler lost the war, Great Britain, France, and the U.S. took all the nuclear scientists, rocket scientists, and all that. He had a huge project.
Paperclip, right?
Yeah. Hitler also had a project called Dr. Grunbaum, Green Tree, which he was fascinated with the Kabbalah. Nobody wanted it. Well, Russia took it. And in the 60s, the Soviets were getting our classified information like crazy. One of their people defected and brought with him documentation that showed what they were doing with their psychic spies, and everybody here had a laugh about it. But then they read the documents and they said, hey, this works.
There's something to this.
Yeah. The spy group is different from the rest of the military. Anything that works, they're going to do it. And so they decided, okay, we're going to find out how to do this. And so they went out to Stanford Research, had them do a study on how this works. And a man named Ingo Swann.
You know the guy? God rest his soul, but he was one of the best.
Oh, he was, yeah. He developed a protocol for the conscious mind to interview the subconscious and report the information back.
So when they got the data,
Yeah.
when they were able to start getting information, I mean, they believed there's something to this, right?
They knew there was something to it, yeah. The first remote viewer was a guy named Joe McMonagle.
And he's still
viewer.
doing it. He's still out
still
there
doing it, yeah.
As you are too.
Yeah. I don't think he's teaching it, but he's doing it professionally.
See,
and
you have since switched now that you're out of the military, into what is called controlled remote viewing.
Well,
Now,
it was
what is that?
okay. It was called coordinate remote viewing, And when it came out to the public, see, they gave us coordinates. They didn't want to tell us what the target was because that would kick in your logic and everything else. So they would say, for example, this is project 970304, question 3, what's the answer? That was it. So using coordinates like that, when it came out to the public, psychics started using coordinates and calling it coordinate remote viewing. Well, it wasn't. So Ingo said, hey, the one word they won't take is controlled.
Right.
So he called it controlled remote viewing, and that's what it's been called ever since.
And now specifically, what is that?
Okay, that is that you control the remote viewing.
As opposed to the remote viewing doing it to you.
Yeah, and one of the complaints that psychics have is that they're at its mercy. Well, in controlled remote viewing, you remote view in a set pattern. You sit down at a certain place, you do a certain procedure, you get the information, you finish, you get up, and you're finished. And so it's all under your own control. And so many people hear controlled remote viewing and they think, oh, the viewer is controlled by all these protocols. No, the protocols are there so that the viewing is controlled by the viewer. Fantastic.
It's an amazing tool.
It is.
It really is. I've practiced it because of people like you who have given me some pointers. I haven't taken your course yet, but I want to do that.
Yeah, drop by.
In 1980, Len, there was a UFO case in the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
It was called Rendlesham.
In December 1980, United States military personnel, located at the twin bases of RAF Bentwaters and RAF Woodbridge in Suffolk, England, observed strange lights on one or more UFOs in the adjoining woodland, known as Rendlesham Forest, and over the military bases. At approximately 3 a.m. on December 26th, security personnel on patrol near the east gate of RAF Woodbridge observed unusual lights which appeared to be descending into the forest. Upon leaving the base and entering Rendlesham Forest to investigate, several military personnel observed a metallic, triangular-shaped object with colored lights which had landed in a clearing. 2 of the men approached the object, and one of the men was able to touch it.
This is an amazing case, Len, because so many U.S. military personnel that were stationed out there in the United Kingdom witnessed this, touched the craft, as a matter of fact. Some have gotten sick over the years.
That's true.
Government says, oh no, has nothing to do with that case.
Yeah.
You remote
It was swamp
viewed
gas.
You took a quick look at it. Tell me, what did you do?
As always, I got encrypted coordinates, so I had no idea I was viewing it. And I was viewing one specific night of that. I found out later. And
of the several nights.
Of the several nights. And so that's the only one I have viewed. But during that, they had me describe the craft, and then they had me go inside the craft.
Wow.
And draw the floor plans, draw the internal plans and everything else.
What did it look like? And what did the inside look like?
What I got in the beginning was just a control room, control panel, just like, you would expect for any flight deck.
Did it look out of this world?
Pretty much,
It did.
yeah. The entire thing was empty. I went ahead and went through the rest of the ship. The entire ship was empty.
It was a drone craft of some sort.
Yeah, but I went into the computer. I can read computers. I went into the computer and found out that it was autonomous. It wasn't controlled by anybody. It was autonomous. And it was looking for something, and several things, in fact. And when it found one of those things it was looking for, programmed to look for, it would sort of radio back to somebody and say, I found it, and then later they would know exactly where to come.
Len, describe what the craft looked like from the outside.
From the outside, it was shiny, of course, and it did have a sort of a pointed area on one side.
Did it look like anything we had at the time?
Oh, no. No,
No way.
no. And it was, of course, rounded on top, rounded on bottom, but
How big
flattened.
do you think it was?
It seemed to me on the outside like it was maybe about 5 or 6 times the size of a car. Now, when I got on the inside, of course, if they were smaller, it would look, I would have shrunk to that, and it
Sure.
would, you know. But on the inside, it looked pretty big. There were, compartments and things like that, and this control panel, which was totally unmanned.
And as you said, you were looking at it, it was empty. So you didn't see any extraterrestrial beings?
No, I didn't.
Nothing like that?
No, I didn't.
Are you looking
However, it was lit on the inside, too.
Okay. Are you looking at things in real time when
Yes.
you remote view?
Yeah.
So wherever you might have been,
Yeah.
remote viewing this craft at that time, it was there at that time, correct?
Yes. Now, one of the things about controlled remote viewing is that your conscious mind works best present time. Your subconscious mind can go anywhere in time and space.
Right.
And so you give the command, move to that time and that place. Now, what am I seeing here? Present time. And your conscious mind says, oh, now I'm seeing, and so on.
So if the ETs might have been out of the craft at the time that you were remote viewing,
Yeah.
that's entirely possible, isn't it?
That's entirely possible. That's not what I got, but that's entirely possible, yeah.
Do you think it might have been a time machine? Our time machine?
I don't think so. First of all, let me make this clear because, I've got a government to contend with here. We were
bet you
never, I do, yeah. We were never officially tasked with ETs or UFOs.
During the entire project? You're saying?
During the entire project, we were never officially tasked with those.
Are you telling me something I should know? Like, you're stressing the word officially here.
I'm stressing the word officially.
All right.
We were asked to do things, for special favors for different congressmen.
It's like somebody, like a president saying to one of his staff members,
Yeah.
someone rid me of this problem.
Yeah.
And then he walks away, right?
And walks away, yeah. And so, we had done a lot of ETs, and I never found one that had any indicator that it was a time machine. It's
Maybe though?
just
Can you rule it
could
out?
be. I can't rule it out. No,
In your opinion, based on that one remote viewing session
for Rendlesham.
for Rendlesham, what do you think this was?
I think it was just a drone that was automated to go find things, and hey, drone, phone home.
Yeah. Why there, Len? Why Rendlesham?
I have no idea. I don't know what it was looking for, but evidently it found it at Rendlesham Forest.
Our dear friend Ingo Swann wrote a book called Penetration.
Yeah.
It was about his work in remote viewing.
Right.
About looking at structures on the far side of the moon,
Yeah.
which were absolutely incredible.
They're there.
Absolutely
Yeah, they're there.
incredible. While you've been remote viewing in your career, have you ever been tasked with looking at the so-called secret space program?
Oh, yeah. Many times.
And what have we seen there?
We've seen that we need to change the question to another subject.
Oh, really?
Yes.
It seems like, Len, and
Yeah.
I've known you for years.
Yeah.
It seems like there's some subjects that you feel to be taboo to talk about. Why is that? I don't want to put you on the spot.
Yeah, I still stay.
But you're in the spot.
I still stay pretty current on what's classified and what's not, because when the project was declassified, it was effectively declassified. That's government speak for, we're not going to declassify this, but we're going to look the other way.
Means, Lynn, keep your mouth shut.
It means that if we ever decide to quit looking the other way, and you have told classified information, then we're going to get you.
All right, well, let me ask you this a different way.
Yeah.
I can't ask you if you were tasked then specifically to look at the secret space program.
Sure, you can ask.
You won't tell me.
Yeah.
Are there other things going on out there that the public just doesn't know about?
Oh, yeah. I believe in security. I really do. I believe in secrets. I believe that it's taken way beyond what it should, and I believe there's a lot that the public needs to know about. The government says, when in doubt, classify. That's official. And I think
and you
they
live
classify.
by that rule still?
No, I really don't.
Then tell me everything.
If they classify it, I'm not going to talk about it. But
which is the case for this?
Which is the case a lot of times. There are things that I think should be talked about, but I'm not going to jail.
As an American,
I try to be careful.
As an American, are you glad that there is a secret program going on?
There are many secret programs going on, and some of them I'm very glad. Some of them are scary, and I'm not sure they should be going on. It's not like there is a secret program. There are many secret programs going on. Some of them extremely good. Some of them, and some of them are scary. Yeah.
One of our hosts for Gaia is Corey Good.
Okay.
And Corey has talked about the secret space program in the past.
Yeah.
And he comes full out without any concern and regards for himself, and says there's something that's been going on. It's ongoing, and it's been going on for a long, long time. I would guess you've been tasked, or you were tasked, to see if the Soviets at the time had something in place too?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And did they?
We were spies. Well, the U.S. doesn't have spies. Bad people have spies. We have intelligence collection agents.
Operatives.
Operatives, yeah. They have things. Every government has secrets. Yeah.
The late @𝗏𝗏 in his book Penetration looked at structures on the far side of the moon.
Yeah.
Let's talk about structures that could be on Mars.
We do have these 1970s Mariner 9 images that are untouched and undoctored, showing this, again, Martian airport-like structure on Mars. And you can see here, this particular structure has been featured in presentations all over the world.
So Len, in your remote viewing, have you seen anything on Mars?
Oh, yeah. There is a phenomenon in CRV where you get so engrossed in the target that the room around you gets totally ignored, and you cannot tell that you're not at the target. The first time that ever happened to me was target on Mars. And I stood in an opening in the side of a slanted stone area and looked out. And of course I had no idea what I was viewing.
Did you know it was Mars?
No, I didn't. We never know what the target is. And I saw things out, and the sun was out. It was extremely cold wind.
Could have been the desert here on this planet.
Yes, but it had a difference.
Different.
It was strange, I found out later. The Sedona region, the pictures of that were still secret, not out to the public yet.
Did you see via remote viewing the face on Mars?
No, I was at this thing. I saw something off to the side.
All right.
And I was at a place and saw the detailed picture of that before it came out to the public. All of a sudden I looked and I thought, hey, wait a minute, that's what I saw. And I remembered what I saw, and I looked on this overhead picture and everything was right in the place. And it dawned on me, hey, I stood on Mars.
If you like this video and you want to see more amazing content, go ahead and check out the next video on our channel.